As filmmakers, we have this awesome chance to just open our old dusty hard drives and go through our previous work. And after cringing for a bit, you realize like, yeah, you actually grew, you actually learned. Throughout all these years, you've come a long, long way to get to where you are right now. Anyways, that's what happened to me a few days ago. And I was like, you know what? It would be really great to record myself reacting to some of my old previous work and the work that has been really pivotal and important in shaping my career. So this is that video where I'm reacting and analyzing it from a new perspective, now knowing what I know. So I hope you will enjoy it. All right, guys, so I'm going to do it in a chronological order, starting at the origins of my career, the work that almost no one has ever seen, to the recent works that I've done, so that you guys can see the natural progression, how the work has improved over time. So let's kick it off. So yeah, 2017 for me was the year when I was trying to focus more on making short films. So I was participating in the 48-hour film project, and I was meeting and collaborating with so many local Shanghainese filmmakers. I was meeting a lot of people, and I was networking like crazy. And that led me to a lot of paid work. And one of the important and pivotal projects that I've done in 2017 was this brand film. It's a skincare brand founded by a French woman by the name of Marie. And so the whole premise of the film is to show how it all started for her, how she came to China, how she decided to make this brand happen, what's the philosophy of her products. Yeah, let's take a look.
Many years ago, I traveled from Paris to Shanghai. I have always loved being a city girl. But one day, I got sick from urban stress and pollution.
So peaceful.
My quest for healing took me to the beautiful tea gardens of Longqing in Hangzhou. And there, I recovered through the power of tea. My name is Marie Amian. I am the founder of Lumintang.
That's beautiful.
My skincare harnesses the power of tea to treat urban skin. With the top Japanese lab, we've uncovered the antioxidant tea bioremedy complex to neutralize free radicals.
Some of these shots look really good.
And
some of them
skin from
just
urban
don't.
aggressors.
I don't know. Like this I don't quite like.
Green tea, Sichuan
It's just plain.
Silver needles,
Flat.
Tiwani oolong. Lumintang fuses these precious Chinese teas together with our tea bioremedy complex.
Okay. That macro shot was good.
And plenty of natural healing ingredients.
A beautiful building. They own it.
La Maison Lumintang is nestled at the Qianlong Imperial Library in Longqing. Lumintang is evocative of lumière, light in French. It represents my dream of luminous beauty by tea.
It was all shot on my own camera. I brought my own stuff. It was Sony a6300, a couple of Sony native lenses, E-mount lenses, and everything else was just sun, no additional lighting, no nothing. It was just all either ambient lighting from inside the building, or it was like just working with the sun. I didn't quite know a lot about lighting back then, but it all sort of kind of just worked in our favor. I guess it's just happy accident for us. But I do like how it feels in the beginning. Let's just take a look again. Like these shots, I don't know. I still find them to be beautiful. Yes, I mean, even though the color grading isn't quite there, the sheer video files, the quality of it just doesn't look as good as anything you would make now. But like, look at the layers, look at the framing. Like that to me is a beautiful image that represents the story, the mood that we were trying to convey. Look at the layers, like foreground, boom, midground, background. That's a very cliche shot. Okay, shout outs to Tree of Life. So guys, if you're ever in China, just make sure to visit Hangzhou. And if you're in Hangzhou, just go straight to the Longjing tea fields, and you will find this building, La Maison Lumingtang. So 2018 was the year when I got back to my hometown, Kazakhstan, Almaty, and I was making a lot of videographer jobs, back at it again, making a lot of event videography, like fashion lookbooks and whatnot. I was shooting everything by myself. For me, 2020 was the year when I, again, in a new market, decided that I was going to do directing jobs only, no videographer jobs, no editing jobs, just pure directing. But for that to happen, we had to first make some spec work. And that's what we did with a friend of mine, Dastan. We've put together a few spec commercials for car brands, and we thought that was gonna bring our careers forward, but it didn't quite. It led us to some other jobs that we're gonna talk about later. So one of the first spec commercials that we did was for BMW. Of course, BMW doesn't know anything about this, but yeah, we just decided to make this happen. Yeah, let's have a look. Going back to the idea that I've previously mentioned, the fact that, when you're starting out, you're keen to trying out all sorts of new types of effects and techniques and whatnot. And I quite like that we were bold enough to make this effect happen, which is basically a light freeze or light painting. So it's basically you put your camera on sticks, and then you make sure that that it's photographing a sequence of photos at low shutter. So every photo is like 1/10 of a second or 1/15 of a second. And that gives enough time for guys that are all dressed in black to just get the light tubes and just run around the car making this amazing light paintings. Then in the edit, you put that in the sequence and play it super quick. It looks like this. Some of these shots are quite nice still. I just don't think that the overall aesthetics and the storytelling is there. I don't think it's aged very well. Putting that spec ad reel together, it led me to a very important project in my career. It was the most amount of budget that I had to deal with back then. I was quite nervous stepping in. It was Magnum ice creams. So these are 5 influencers, and one of them is a musician. All of them are in this music video. So it's basically a branded music video, if you will. So this is for Magnum, the ice creams. And this, we had a proper budget, proper production crew, a lot of people involved in this. The whole entire budget was about $30,000 or $35,000. And some of these frames I quite like. We had 3 days to shoot everything. It was still a run and gun project. Like, we hadn't built sets for it. We hadn't, scouted all that much. There was quite a bit of improvisation involved into this. But it looks epic. It's the same girl. I like this effect. It's like a motion controller, very basic motion controller. We were fighting for this with the client so long. Like, they didn't quite like the idea of me putting the animations, the 2D animations like this. And But then, yeah, we were able to make them agree. Yeah, these people are quite famous and popular on social media here locally in Almaty. People recognize them, so it's not like just random models or whatever. It's like when this was on TV, when this was like on air everywhere, some of the shorter versions of this video got really viral. What's funny is that I got recognized. Like, I remember people were approaching me and were like, "Did you make this video? Like, was it you directing this video?" I still don't think this aged very well. It's just the fact that you are working with famous people is just, it comes with its benefits. That ice cream commercial happened, and then it was like, boom. That led me to Coca-Cola, that led me to Samsung, that led me to like Toyota and everything else. I'd like to take this time to tell you about the sponsor of this video, which is myself and my store at nourniazfilms.com, where you can find really cool pre-built treatment templates to use when pitching your ideas to a client. They are easy to use, plug and play, and are made specifically to use within Keynote. For anyone who's watching this video, there's going to be a 10% discount code in the description below, so check it out. All right, guys, so the hard drive doesn't seem to work. I'll try to fix it. But yeah, right now we're on Vimeo, and we're going through some of my old work. Back at it again. It's another fashion video that we've made for a client here when I've already moved to my hometown. That's an epic shot. For establishing shot, I think it looks epic. And the locations are so nice. Run, boy, run. Some of those same transitions here as well. I don't know, it feels like, almost feels like I was a better editor back in the day than I am now. I think I was more brave when it comes to editing. Look at those shots, bro. Dude, look at that. Look at that building. It looks surreal. Like, these three models almost look like they're out of place. They just don't belong, and I really like that contrast. Yeah, so that was for a shopping mall, 2018. Now, going back to just before this last video that I showed you, I was showing you the Magnum commercial, the ice creams. And like I said, that video made it possible for me to just start working with the bigger brands here locally. And I was doing a lot of like commercials for Samsung, and some of them are better than others, but I've like over the past 2 or 3 years, we've made about 15, 16 commercials with Samsung. So it's quite a lot. And some of them are meh, like nothing special. And I think this looks pretty good. I think this was one of those moments where I was like, all right, we're going to do it my way. This is 8th of March, and hence this is about women, talking about dreams and how it's all important to be a dreamer when it comes to your career. And these are also influencers. They've made well for themselves. So let's just have a look. Yeah, look at that set design.
Мечта.
Look at those colors.
Прекрасная фантазия, которую мы тайно храним в своем сердце.
Мир невероятных возможностей.
I think you can kind of tell that I was working with fashion videography back in the day. It was like it's all coming back here in some of my commercial work. It's like they all look like fashion films.
Приятная авантюра.
Yeah,
Ведь для мечтателя
not bad.
правил нет.
I really like how the set design and color, they match together so well. Like, it really highlights this dreamy effect that they're all talking about here. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's go to some of my next work. There we go. This is Red Bull. Red Bull BC1 is, some of you know, or may or may not know, this is for a dance competition. And I think this is one of my best projects, the best work that I've ever done. Despite it being a commercial, this is still very personal. Like, it was one of those cases, one of those very rare cases where agency and the client and the production, they all are on the same page, and they all trust to what a director brings to the table. The last year's winner is from Kazakhstan. He's based and born and raised in Kazakhstan. And so our goal was to showcase the modern Kazakh culture. And some of you may or may not know, but the Kazakh people, they used to be nomads. And so everything is centered around that theme. And I've decided to separate these into 3 different chapters. This is an abandoned airport, airstrip. That's why it looks kind of industrial, but at the same time it's like so vast and so huge, the location. And I think the art department did an amazing job here, bringing all of that props here, costumes, everything is so good. And we even brought, the art department, they brought their own yurt, if you know what yurt is. I like that frame within that frame. Looks really pleasing. So this is the guy who won the last year's Red Bull BC1. I think you can kind of tell that I was working in the fashion in the past. It's just like all of these commercials that I do, they kind of sort of look like fashion films, one way or another. And I really like the fact that it looks so raw. It looks almost like a documentary, you know? Like, everything is so... like, it doesn't feel staged, you know? Even though everything was like storyboarded, we had like previs for everything. It doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like a proper commercial. It feels like some of my old, personal projects from 2014, 2015. And I think that's the whole point. Like, going into 2022, 2023, I was like making this conscious effort to make commercials on my own terms, and I was trying to make them personal. Like, it doesn't always work, and at the end of the day you understand that commercials are commercials, and it's like you can't make them as personal as your personal projects or short films or even music videos. But at the same time, if you try, you can still win. You pick your battles, and some of them you can win. It really felt like a dream project come true, because they basically told me like, dude, you can do whatever you want to do. Here's your budget. We totally trust you. Do your thing. It was crazy. Like, this is what we came up with, and I'm super proud. Like I said, some of the commercials you just can't win. It's still a big brand, Coca-Cola. It's a mass brand for a mass audience, and it's got to be understood by the masses. So this is just a regular, simple commercial for New Year's. I don't think it's got some of that spice, but nonetheless, it's all right. Does it work? It works. Does it pay? It pays. So what else can you ask for? I don't know. I don't quite feel anything here. And oh, okay. Finally coming to this Samsung windfree campaign that I did last year. I was posting this on my channel. Some of you guys seem to like it a lot. And I think I understand why. Because my cinematography looks beautiful. The DP did a great job. And I think everybody else did a great job, to be frank with you. The art department, like this whole decoration that we've built, it looks amazing. It looks on par, and it plays with the theme that there's, you know, these holes, perforations in the background. It's like, it makes sense because the product is a Samsung windfree air conditioners, and so they don't blow air directly into your face. It's like more like a light breeze. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's symmetrical. Slow motion, okay. She starts to imagine that she's a supermodel, and again, like I said before, some of this work, it feels like a fashion film type of work. Again, some of my fashion videography background comes to play here. And yeah, so this was a campaign featuring 3 stories, so different characters, different situations. So the first one was about sports and jogging. This one is about a group of friends playing a tabletop game like Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah. The sound design is really epic here. Super good. Okay. So you see all three of these stories, they feel the same. They are exactly the same in terms of the structure. So it's like a setup, the product, the payoff, and the logo shot. So here we see the product. It's all the same. You see these perforations, and kind of it rhymes with the set design and the walls. Wind free, no wind. So I hope you enjoyed it. I encourage you to focus on your own thing. Just don't pay attention to what everyone else is doing on the internet. Just make your own projects. Take the time to learn from them. And most importantly, put in the reps. Learn from your own mistakes. And many years down the line, you will look back to it and you'll realize how much you've grown and have done and have accomplished.